Yes.
Okay. So, it's with great gratitude and pride that the John Green Preservation Coalition accepts the 2016 Rockland County Executive Historic Preservation Merit Award. One of the unique things about this is that we truly are a coalition of individuals. Our house isn't owned by a town or a village or the state. It's owned by a not-for-profit. And as a not-for-profit, we're slightly different in our footing than other houses that come along because we're not eligible for most of the financing and most of the grants that a town property is eligible for. Historic preservation requires diligence, energy, and perseverance. And as citizens, we work to restore and revive buildings that belong in essence not to us as individuals, and although I guess technically to our not-for-profit, but they really belong to the public trust at large. And these buildings, despite varying levels of deterioration, they're begging to be saved. And it's incumbent on individuals, and in our case, a wonderful coalition of people to pick up that mantle and save that building. Ultimately, these buildings are true reminders of what came before us, and they sustain our sense of place, and each of these places matter. The once beautiful John Green House is a structure of magnificent stone, but what holds these stones together is mortar. Similarly, the mortar of our coalition, which is just a little bit more than a year old, is its ability to work together, to collaborate with others, be it public officials, the historic community, neighbors and partners, and new partners to be. You can't achieve results in historic preservation without cooperation and tireless work and creativity. The best part of our organization is that we are a coalition, and our coalition is committed to the continuing rehabilitation of the John Green House and its return to public use. When we're finished with the building, which we hope will be in time for its bicentennial in 2019, our plans include a community center for the ground floor, the restoration of the original porches, and the property itself. And because we're a not-for-profit and we need to support our building, our plans for adaptive reuse include the second and third floors for rental properties to sustain the building going into the future. And that's what we're undertaking to do, and so far we are on that course. When the time came to acquire the building, it was in a foreclosure situation. It was owned by an investment group. It wasn't owned by the town or an individual. And the task in front of us was to convince that investment group to donate the house to our coalition. We didn't exist. We weren't a 501c3 yet. We were just a bunch of people who wanted to save a house. So we quickly formed that 501c3 corporation. We had help from Kirsten Gillibrand and Nita Lowy to set up our 501c3. We had cooperation from Mayor White of Nyack. We had cooperation from Andy Stewart, from David Carlucci, from countless people. We drafted a proposal to this investment group asking them to give us the house. They had cash offers for the same house on the table, and we were competing, trying to convince this bank that historic preservation was more important than the cash that they would receive from the bank, from the buyers. And we prevailed. It was a long, difficult negotiation. It actually took many, many months. The bank's appraiser was afraid to enter the house because of the condition of it was so perilous. And when the appraiser sent the report back to the bank saying this house is unsafe, and we had the confirmation from the village of Nyack who had declared it unsafe, we were able to finally convince the bank to donate the house to us. We didn't just put up a Facebook page and yell about the condition of the house and ask other people to step up and save it. There was a lot of technical legal issues, there were accounting issues, there were fundraising and strategic architectural planning. The house was unstable. When we took the house, the front facade was collapsing as we took title. We had to manage a controlled takedown of the front of the house, and we've since restored 1/3 of the facade, and we continue to raise funds to restore the rest of the facade. I wanted to just give a shout out to each of our board members, to Mary Cardenas, to Connie Green, to Tom Morrison, to Wynn Perry, to Ken Sharp, to Jeannie Stoldorf, and to Tina Traster. Tina created a documentary, a 30-minute documentary called This House Matters, which tells the story of the acquisition of the John Green House, tells the story of some other houses in Rockland County, including the Seth House, the Vanderbilt Butke House, and the Cropsey Barn. And that film is, if you want to learn more about our project and about those houses, it's playing June 22nd at the Nyack Library, at the New City Library at 7 p.m. I also wanted to give a shout out to Joe Barbieri, who's worked tirelessly with our coalition, and we, as I said before, accept this honor with pride, and we thank you for your support. Thank you.